Okay. Anyway, to keep going, so what they offered the Pro Edition for was $89 for life, which made sense rather than redoing our galleries, which actually date back to 2016. So that initiated the increase of $5. So it's going to a good cause. Next on the back of your schedule document, you'll find, or on the website under assigned subjects, you'll find the descriptions of all the assigned subjects for our competition. And if you have any questions about the descriptions, just get them to us to give yourself enough time to shoot the images so that you're not caught short. We also, for the executive board, added a second vice president, who is Natalie. And what she's going to be doing is putting together, which she has done, and she's done a great job, the programs for the year. The dues I talked about, the website, I think as of today, it's completely updated because I updated the NJFCC competitions and I think everything's updated. All the images that received awards from last year are all now back up on the website. And we had some class promotions. Al Faguccio moved from B to A. Fernando, who's down there, moved from B to A. And Charlene moved from A to Salon. So congratulations to everybody. Now, one of the things that is becoming a concern for camera clubs, and we talked about it a bunch of times last year, is the impact of AI, or artificial intelligence. And we came up with a statement, which I'll read to everybody, and I'll be sending these out because the first meeting in October, we'll do a vote if this is acceptable to everybody to put in the bylaws. So first, the entries must be original images taken by the photographer with a camera, tablet, or cell phone. Second one, AI functions such as denoising, healing, sharpening, expanding canvas are allowed. Images generated solely or partially by artificial intelligence, commonly known as generative AI, and not an original digital file taken by the photographer are not allowed. So images have to be your own image, created with your camera, cell phone, tablet, by you. And finally, if a photographer is combining different elements or layers, all of these must be from original photographs taken by the photographer. You can't purchase stock photography, use free images off the internet, trade images with friends, nor use any other source but your own original photographs. And I know I do a bunch of compositing. There's some other people that also put together composites. And when I do a composite, I'll take elements from, 3 or 4 of my own images and cut out and combine them together. And that's perfectly fine in our competitions, as long as they're your photos. And this all comes back to one thing, everybody's personal integrity.
I do have one question with that.
Go right ahead.
If you're gonna combine a number of images, your own images
Mhm.
for a composite, do you need to state that it's a composite? I mean, I'm just,
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
okay,
Um,
that's fine. I just wanted to, I agree with you on
Well,
it.
actually, we're depending on the contest. Some
Yeah.
contests state that you need to say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, just a question.
I mean, one of the examples, and I'll give you an example from this. Okay, yesterday, Nellie and I were out shooting and we went down to Bombay Hook and the foxes were out. And I mean, the foxes were out. We shot 6 different foxes. It was pretty amazing. But I got a portrait of one who literally was no further away from me than my spotted bag over there. He came that close, or she, I don't know what the gender of the fox was, but then came that close and sat down. Now, I'm under the assumption that people are probably feeding them. And this fox was kind of looking to see if I had anything to feed him. But I bent down so I was level on the ground with the fox and took, I don't know, probably 10, 12 pictures before the fox decided to wander off a little bit. The one that had the best expression on the fox's face, and the fox was looking me directly in the eyes, I cut off the tip of the ear. So I went to one of the other images and
Got a tip of the-
back, did a little cut and paste, added a bit of canvas and put the ear. Now, the chances that I put that particular photo in competition are slim. But it's a photo that made me happy, so I wanted to make the composite.
That's fine.
Because then when I went further down in my 800 pictures, I found another portrait that I liked. But that's the kind of thing, a lot of people do it. And don't say a word about that. But then I'll do a composite. Last year when we were shooting up at Letchworth Village, I had this room with the old mattress laying there. It's, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a dilapidated building we were in from the former institution. And you can kind of wander in the buildings as long as you don't get caught. But there was this alcove and there was this grimy old mattress. And I saw some of the animals that I had taken down at the Philadelphia Zoo scattered in there with this mattress. And I made that kind of a composite, which was a fantasy composite. And that one would be obvious that it's a composite.
Understood.
So it's entirely up to you, but they need to be your own images. That's the main thing. The other thing that we wanted to do was to clarify the class promotion. Because we've never had a real statement how promotions work. And some clubs clarify it, and some clubs it's the big mystery. So we wanted to add in section 8 of the bylaws, any new member joining Cranford-Millburn from another NJFCC club may be offered entry into the corresponding class of membership they held in their original club. So if you're coming from another club, we want to extend that courtesy. And then for section 8, class advancement into the next higher class can be offered by the executive board after review of the members' performance or success in our competitions. In addition, advancement may be offered when moving from class B to class A after spending a minimum of 1 full year in B, or moving from A to salon. The member must spend a minimum of 2 years in A before the advancement is considered. And that just makes it a little bit clearer. And there's copies of this with my one error down here. I have to add the word B in there. And we'll be voting on this in October. And I think I've just about covered everything. Does anyone have any questions? Now, we had a little technical difficulty with PCP. What it looks like is the images that were entered into Salon did not download for some reason. I know I entered 4 images, they didn't download. I know Al, who didn't make it tonight, he entered 4 images. Did anyone else from Salon enter images who's here? Maybe it was Natalie, who's not with us tonight. Maybe it was her.
Yeah, the ones that would not download, they only give me an ID number. They don't tell me who were the photographers that couldn't download. So we have 15 photos right now. Does anybody bring any photos tonight with you? No? Okay. And the other 12, of course, we're not going to be able to see.
And then,
Oh, okay. We'll do these first, and I'll put you in.
and then at the end, I'll tell you about my summer. And Charlene is laughing back here because she already knows about my summer.
Uh-oh. Okay, ready?
At least heat, no air conditioning at our work. I think
I thought he was turning the lights.
I thought he got up to turn the lights off. Okay.
I'm still not ready to go. I'm still not ready to go.
Okay, started with Fernando.
Well, that was actually just bunch of stuff that my daughter collected from out in the woods when we were like so. Or sort of represented the change of the seasons during the summer. It doesn't really explain much of my summer. Just did family vacations for the most part, but I thought this was a good thing to submit to sort of express the back to school feeling and then summer and cool weather. I guess that's part of it too. I was in the backyard. That's, I didn't go out too much in the way of photography in the summer, but I did do some backyard stuff. Some plants and flowers that, are out there that we have out there. And I like playing with my, adapted old lenses and just seeing what I can get from what's out there. This is just one of them. That's the place that we just recently been to, in New York, in Yonkers. I forget the name of the place. I don't think it's familiar with that image. Which I remember what it was, but, it's right down by the Hudson, it's in Yonkers, a lot of landscape gardens, and some temple-like features, around the grounds.
Was that on Meyer?
Yes, thank you. Yes, that's it. We've been there once or twice. I took this picture in some structure that's there, and I thought it was interesting. Sort of the juxtaposition of the graffiti and this foliage is actually growing inside this. You can't really tell by the photo, but it's actually quite dim there. And I thought it was interesting how, despite how dim it is inside that building, that these things were, nature was just basically taking over. And that's from a recent trip I took over the summer to Niagara Falls. I think this is from the New York side, so we stopped on the New York side on the way back. And it's sort of an abstract thing to me because the mist from the falls just throws everything in the background, sort of very obscure. But it was broad daylight, even though it was the day, it was on our way back home. So it encapsulates sort of our time over the summer. But hitting the road a few places, not too far from home. Niagara Falls being the farthest we do. Yes.
And these are mine. For those who know me, I like taking photos with models. We do workshop. This was down in Asbury by the rocks. A few weeks ago, when that hurricane was coming off the coast, the waves were hitting off. Heather here, who I misspelled her name. We did a bunch by the rocks. We couldn't actually go to the rocks by the beach because the water was over the rocks at that time. This was the towns do the night out. This was in South Amboy. I just love the way they had the equipment outside the truck already stacked up with the engines. There was a few others I did, but this one I just like the whole look, even the reflection. Unfortunately, that night there was not one cloud, so it was like harsh light except everywhere else in the town. This was an event I did at Unique Photo. Canon sponsored it. They brought in some animals to do. So we just had they just had constant light going in their warehouse. And this was one times the owl was not falling asleep. This owl didn't want nothing to do with us. He's just like, I'm tired. And then the next one I did leave is my little tortoise. That was another one I had there. This was one of the few times the tortoise was not eating. They fed this thing the whole time we were there. This event was pretty good. If anybody doesn't know, Unique Photo runs a lot of events, and most of them are like $10. And sometimes you won't get a chance to see these animals or the people there. So it's a good thing to check out. It was one of the few things I did this summer. Next would be Margot.
But we kind of looked at the booth and we got in the car and we drove up Canada. 4 days trip up to Quebec. And this was actually we brought it on the way back. I like taking pictures of people doing things in parks or botanical gardens. And I didn't know the whole thing, but it didn't look like anything that was there. But I just have to. Maybe he's kind of wrong. No, I think he's expressing something. But it looks so colorful. And this was actually in my iPhone because I got up to Canada to discover the championships working. So, but you know what? It's good to practice with the iPhone, experiment, and then I use like, all the, I just take it, was listen to a class that I read, so I was trying to try out some of this stuff. I say I like people in gardens around things, this is kind of like that when your granddaughter. So kind of just, it goes to it, but, once again, and this was looking over the St. Lawrence. Beautiful views. I've been thinking about Hudson Horizon, why is straight, I'm not sure, is it straight on? No. There's a straight, yes, right, it looks like slightly right.
Next is Wayne.
I spent most of the summer just in our area around New Jersey and a little bit over in New York. And we took a drive up to a town called Hindermack, up north of Tappan Zee. And it's a really nice drive. There are really interesting parks. And there's also a house that was built by the famous Hudson River painter Frederick Sturz, called Oleana. You can also visit, and there's a tremendous view of the Hudson. And this was in the town. I just like the way the light and the shadow worked on the wall there. I also spent a lot of time along the Palisades following the peregrine falcons that reside there. And this is one of
Excuse
the.
me, Wayne,
Yes,
speak up a little bit, that,
yeah,
can't hear you online.
yeah. I've spent a lot of time at the Palisades this summer photographing the peregrine falcons, and this is one of the juveniles chasing a turkey vulture. On June 21st, the summer solstice, my wife and I went into New York to the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. They had a summer solstice concert, and this was a view of the dome that was lit up inside the cathedral.
Oh,
Those are the three peregrine chicks that fled this summer. The pair that lived on the Palisades were highly successful. And these three mastered flying, hunting, chasing stuff, and they were gone. They were around 2 months old when they left. Parents stopped feeding them. They get the message, time to leave the coop. Thank you.
okay, we have a few more. Al, do you know where they are? Are they the air show ones?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We the only thing on the.
okay.
You have to,
Share it.
you have to get out of what you're sharing right now.
Okay. There we go.
No,
No?
there.
All right. Okay, Al, you're up.
Okay. I love air shows, and it's air show season during the summer. And one I was looking forward to was the Italian Air Force was visiting the United States with the Thunderbirds. And it's the first time in 30 years they performed in the United States. So I have 2 photos of theirs, this one and the next one. That's them coming up over the horizon, flying up. Of course, this is 2 of 2,000, or actually 2 of like 800 photos. And then 2 of the post. If we move to the
Next.
next 2. The Thunderbirds, and these were all at the New York Air Show. Upstate, just across the river. So this one and the next one is the photograph. That was a pretty, interesting formation. I've photographed it many times. I've never seen that formation before. Of course, besides air shows, I still am drawing orchids. I just didn't take many pictures of them.
Where are you when you take these pictures? It looks like you're level with it.
Well, I'm actually at the behind the show line. And what gives you this angle is they were pitched, they were tilted towards me. So it gives you the same perspective as if you were with them. Of course, an extremely long lens brought you right up to one side. But the telephoto and the angle of the photo of the lens give you that option of looking like you're flying like that. That's it.
Okay, that was our last one. Ooh. Yes, we have.
I don't know what happened with the technical difficulty with, I know there were 12 images and so on, but. Yeah, well, we'll find out what the problem was with, the program, why things didn't download. But so my summer, started out really nice. With trips down to Forsyth and the Ocean County Welcome Center Rookery, Ocean City Welcome Center Rookery. And one of the things at the Rookery that I got a picture of, once the chicks hatch, they're constantly bugging their parents to feed them. And they stand up and scream. And one of the great egrets had 4 little chicks. And they were all screaming for either mommy or daddy to feed them. And I got a break where you can see all 4 at once with their beaks open screaming. And then we found a spot going into Forsyth called NACO Creek that we took fabulous sunrises. So both those images were in my images. Then came July 21st. Which my other club, Camera Naturalists, we had the annual meeting for. And I'm rushing to leave my house, get to the meeting early before everybody else arrived. I put on a pair of sandals that didn't have much traction on the bottom, didn't think twice until I went right down the stairs. Ooh. Sprained my ankle. 8 weeks later, camera was getting dusty in the closet. And finally, at the very end of the summer, got out with Charlie
Specifically, just a couple of them.
and Jackie Dickard down at Raritan Bay to do some great pictures of the bay, 2 of which I put in with the sunset. And so I had a bookend this summer and weeks of doing nothing.
Ellen, Jim's got a couple of pictures too. You wanna-
Okay. Got it.
You get my share screen going? Just pick any 4, Jim?
Whatever, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most of my photography is just chronicling my vacations. So I went to Morocco this summer because I was nearby, and I'd never been to Africa before. This is just the road on the way to the Sahara Desert. Another picture from Berlin village. The country itself is very interesting. It's the southern parts of the desert. It's very dry and harsh looking, and the northern part is closer to the water, civilized, large population from 3 million in Casablanca, for example. So big contrast. The country itself is the size of California.
If you always skip anything, let me know.
You can just blow through these quickly. That was part of my tour was a night, a desert camel ride and a night a tent on the desert. So I tried to take pictures from the camel, but they bounce around a lot. And I was hanging on for dear life.
Oh, oops, sorry. There we go.
That's just the inside of the mosque. If you're non-Muslim, you can't go in the mosque. You can only take pictures from the doorway.
A couple more.
That's in Fez. It's a 1,000-year-old leather factory. Really interesting, colorful.
What are the,
Those are all vats for dyeing, for dyeing the leather. And I'm on like the second or third story there. So you just, like I said, this goes back like 800 years. So
Which way to keep going?
yeah, this camels. This is a town that had a mural competitions, and some of this looks like some kind of modern art or whatever. They knew that when I was there. You can see the ladder. Just one of the fortified cities. This was actually really cool. It's the Hassan II Mosque. I think it's the second largest mosque in Africa. It's the only one you're allowed in. It's massive. It holds 25,000 people and 80,000 people outside. And like this polished marble, it's just glistening. That's what the shadow of it. This is where they apparently you wash up before you go to service. Any part of your body was dirty and exposed, and massive bathhouse. That was a Casbah. Garden inside. That's the marketplace.
That's the marketplace.
That's the marketplace with sheep's heads. Apparently the cheeks are very good. This is Voluminous, which is a Roman rooms. This is the second largest building in Africa. Looks like a rocket ship.
Oops, sorry. Oh, that's the last one. Take it.
That was outside of Rabat, which is the capital. There's a neighboring town, seven. It was just as an aside, it was an interesting tour. It wasn't what I expected. I asked about taking the range. I said, "Is it English?" They said yes. I said, "How many people have to fit?" I get there with my girlfriend, and there's a driver and the two of us in a car for 9 days. So you have a lot of flexibility as to what you were doing.
Thanks, Jim. You got it?
Did anybody else do anything interesting over the summer that they'd like to share? It's gonna end up being a short meeting. Do any of our visitors have any questions or anything that they'd like to ask? Okay, well, our next meeting is on September 23rd. And that'll be a program on landscapes, and Nick is gonna work into that program some hints and ideas about how to prepare your images for competition. And it should be a very good program. I've seen his new landscape program and it's quite good. And that's, and since we don't have the rest of our images, that's about it for this evening.
Feel like trying one more time.
So if I have to just submit a flash drive,
Well, no, once you become a member,
yes.
then, Bill will get you set up on, PCP, which is how you, enter your images, and he'll give you the instructions how to do that.
Good luck.
Ed, do you have any questions, or would you like to share anything?
No, I don't know how to share through the computer, so I'll just say it was busy.
Ed, do you have anything that you'd like to share with everybody?
It was a busy summer. But I haven't got any pictures I'm ready to share because I don't know how to do that here.
Okay,
But we went up to Niagara Falls. We went to the Finger Lakes for a wedding, which was very nice. We have pictures from that, but we just got back from a wedding. We're both exhausted. That's why we didn't come to the meeting tonight. Yeah, we had weddings all over the place. We had one in June, we had one yesterday, and we got one next week. So our bodies are dying here.
well, hopefully, they're a lot of fun.
They are. But
Okay, and I
someone
think,
someone has to someday tell me how to share so I can share things online if I can't get there.
okay. And with that, I guess we'll say, hope everybody enjoyed the short meeting tonight, and in 2 weeks, we'll have a really good program for everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.